photo. You guys are... No, you're in our photo.
For Complex News, I'm Hanuman Welch. Eric Killmonger has been a part of the Marvel Universe for decades as one of Black Panther's most consistent villains. But it was Michael B. Jordan's performance as the Heavy who stole nearly every scene he was in when the movie dominated box offices around the world and really expanded the character. Originally created by Don McGregor and Rich Buckler, Eric Killmonger made his debut in Panther's Rage storyline of Jungle Action Volume 2, Number 6 in September of 1973. Like Killmonger in the film, Eric was orphaned at a young age due to violence, and in the comics, Eric's birth name was N'Jaka, which meant adopted by his family killer, and learned to build devices from stolen technology. Angry with his fate and wanting to take control of his life, he changed his name to Eric Killmonger, moved to Harlem, where he spent his time pursuing a career in engineering and neuroscience. Now, movie Killmonger's trajectory follows a similar narrative. He's orphaned, angry, and ready to take his place in the world with a few tweaks. Jordan and writer-director Ryan Coogler brought the character into the 21st century, modernizing Killmonger's origins while offering a nod to his comic book background. His first introduction into the MCU has him stealing a traditional Wakandan mask lined with vibranium and donning it during his next heist further in the film.
Show me my respect.
A brand new series from Marvel Comics helps to fill in the blanks in Killmonger's life before he became the Special Forces assassin who would go on to capture the throne of Wakanda. Now, issue 1 just hit shelves and immediately sold out. Written by Brian Edward Hill, Hill told Vulture where he plans to take Ryan Coogler's vision of the character and expand it. I can say that the events of the stories for the most part begin with Eric graduating from MIT. Like all stories, it begins with him having a fork in the road in front of him. He's a young man who could have had a successful and peaceful life if he could just put away his desire for revenge. We begin the story with him making that choice to step away from one potential future and step into another that speaks to more of his darker nature. For me, that's what tragedy is, really. Something isn't tragic unless you can see a way that it could have worked out better. Like, you have to watch Hamlet and think, he could have done this without dying. It was possible. Michael B. Jordan's turn spawned a wildly successful meme. The Killmonger was right meme conveyed just how Wakanda's political isolationism, while sitting on top of a mountain of vibranium, the world's most valuable resource, is unsustainable and, in the eyes of Killmonger, irresponsible. According to Hill, that militancy and Eric's inevitable radicalization will be a central plank in the miniseries. The aspects of Eric being a soldier in his own cause that I took away from the film were certainly important to the narrative. For me, Jordan's performance is remarkable because even in his philosophy, you can see that he's still wounded. He's a person justifying himself with his anger, and anger is always fear in disguise. Anytime you see anger, you're really looking at fear. Eric in the movie, to me, was a character who was very afraid. He was afraid of not belonging to anything, of being a man with no nation, who was afraid of not being able to live up to the Wakandan standard, of being the bastard son of Wakanda. The feelings of inadequacy led him into this unending desire for violent proof that he wasn't that bastard, and that he deserved the right. Those emotions certainly will play a part in that way. In a lot of ways, those are universal emotions. We've all felt that way at some point in our lives. We just didn't dedicate our entire life to nurturing it while trying to destroy our feelings simultaneously. So, what made Killmonger such a breakout character? Eric's voice mirrors the modern world. He's young, embittered by his service in the military, and sees the errors in the old guard as damaging the future. Wakanda's decision to remain cloistered from the world for Eric smacks in the face of the responsibility they have to the world. In his now iconic call-out where Killmonger soundly kicks T'Challa's ass and asks, "Is this your king?" Killmonger challenges the power held by the title of Black Panther and choosing to ignore their responsibilities to society. Who among us hasn't felt helpless looking at the leadership in office and wondering why we're involved in something at all? In someone else's hands, a character like Killmonger could have been painted as an uninspired, one-note character. We've seen that happen a few times with villains in the MCU that fail to connect on a deeper level. Ryan Coogler created a sympathetic villain, a person who speaks his mind and passionately argues that Wakanda needs to be a beacon of hope in a world that has fallen into chaos. He wants a perfect world designed in their image, a prosperous, unified force. It's ironic that a comic book character with a name like Killmonger has inspired a serious conversations about young people's responsibility to themselves and to each other. By continuing to tell Killmonger's story based from Coogler's vision, Marvel could be acknowledging the need to tell diverse stories from diverse voices and recognizing that the MCU, besides breaking records, introduces new readers to these books that these movies are all inspired by. And Killmonger's series isn't the only spin-off hitting shelves in the wake of Black Panther's success. T'Challa's sister Shuri is in the middle of her own miniseries, and writer Ta-Nehisi Coates has been diving deep on Wakanda, penning series focusing on the Dora Milaje, as well as the ongoing Black Panther main series. The character's popularity is at such an all-time high that there's even rumblings that he could possibly return for the Ryan Coogler-helmed Black Panther sequel, despite his character's demise at the end of the first movie. And if some of the Avengers 4 rumors are true, some time travel shenanigans could be afoot and see people return from the dead, plucked out of their original timelines, or retconned back into existence altogether. Black Panther's clout is at an all-time high, with Ryan Coogler returning for the sequel. I mean, Black Panther the album has just been nominated for an Album of the Year Grammy, and Michael B. Jordan is dancing around whether or not he'll actually be returning for the sequel, leaving the door open for some real comic book. Tell us what resonates with the character with you. For everything else, subscribe to Complex on YouTube. For Complex News, I'm Hanuman Welch.